what's the effect of alliteration when it's used in literature? These are the two questions I'm going to answer. Firstly, alliteration is relatively easy to define. Most famously, it's used in tongue twisters, and it's repeated letter sounds. So, Peter, Piper, Pictor, Peck of pickled pepper, if I can say it correctly, is a classic example of alliteration. But perhaps when we analyse literature, we have to talk about the effects of alliteration. So we could relatively easily talk about the effect of that alliteration. It creates the feeling of a tongue twister, the alliteration, and creates a humorous effect. So it makes us feel things, doesn't it? It makes us laugh. And it also has the peculiar effect of drawing attention more to the alliteration, to the repeated letter sounds, than the meaning of a line. And I often find myself saying the tongue twister, but actually not thinking about what it means. I'm just concentrating on the alliteration. With more serious pieces of literature, such as the ones written by Shakespeare or any other kind of well-known poet, alliteration is used to create more serious effects. I'm going to talk to you about the effect of some alliteration in Romeo and Juliet, written by Shakespeare. I'm going to discuss Act 2, Scene 2, and I'm going to look at two lines that Romeo says to Juliet. With love's light wings did I overperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out. Romeo is saying there to Juliet, I've got the wings of love that's enabling me to fly over the walls of the Capulet mansion, and my love cannot be held back. There are no limits to my love. Notice how the alliteration emphasises the power of his feelings. So we have love's light wings. The L, repeated L sound, is making us think about the image there, the image of Romeo having wings, because light wings, because he is in love. And the alliteration draws attention to the image, and it makes us perhaps feel the power of Romeo's love, but also it makes us think, doesn't it? It draws attention to the lightness he's feeling, and we become aware that this is someone who is sailing above the world because he feels so in love. The alliteration in the next line perhaps makes us think about different things. For stony limits cannot hold love out. Here, once again, we have the alliteration emphasising the power of love, the passion that he's feeling. So it has that effect, but it also has the effect of making us think as well about the meaning of the line and the meaning of limits. So there are no limits for Romeo's love here, and the alliteration draws attention to that line because of that. In other words, nothing is going to stop him from being in love with Juliet. Now, we could then go on and talk about that particular idea that the image that the alliteration draws attention to in our essay. I'm just only beginning to talk about the alliteration there. So what we have is alliteration, repeated letter sounds, or always consonants with alliteration, drawing attention to particular images or words or phrases in a piece of literature, and they're drawing attention to those words, and they're making us see things, seeing image. They're making us feel things. They're making us think in a particular way about images and lines and phrases. So when you come to write about alliteration, try and use that formula, as it were. Think about what the alliteration is making you feel, what it's making you think, and what lines it's drawing attention to, and why that is the case.